Hello, this is assignment number 4, standardized testing. I'm going to connect, extend, and challenge the knowledge. So what is standardized testing? Standardized testing is a very useful and helpful tool that helps us to monitor and measure the children's progress on learning. It helps us to understand what are the elements that they struggle with and what are the elements that accelerate their process of learning. It also helps us to identify learning differences among students and help us to change or adjust the program and inform structural planning. So there are several purposes. So it supports learning, identification of special needs, program evaluation, and school accountability. So how do we know what are the tests are good and what are the tests are bad? We always usually look at their reliability and validity scores. Reliability, it tells us if how consistent the scores across the time and location, and validity helps us to determine how valid are the results. In other words, is the test is testing of what is supposed to test. The connect part of this assignment is very different to me because I do not have previous knowledge of any of these tests and any system like that, because I came from different background, cultural background. I never studied in United States up until the college, so to me it was absolutely something new that I was not aware of. So the first test that I'm going to talk about is a Battle Development Inventory 2nd edition. It helps to measure child's progress along the developmental continuum. It was designed for kids ages from birth through 7 years and 11 months. It measures 5 different domains: personal, social, adaptive, motor, communication, and cognitive domains. There are 3 testing formats. First, so it's a structured test format. There are 450 questions divided in 5 domains. There are interviews for parents and teachers and observations. So what are the strengths of this test? I choose that it has 5 different domains, coverage of wide skills, a wide range of skills. There is very simple 3-point objective scoring system. So its skill is not obtained or incorrect, skill is emerging but not yet mastered, and skill is mastered. So it also, the manipulatives, the tools that during this test are very inviting for kids to be engaged, very easily engaged in this test. Adaptation available for children with disabilities, and it has a Spanish version. What are the disadvantages? So the disadvantages is a pretty long test, takes around 90 minutes to administer, which can be a problem for kids who has a problem with attention or for the age, right? Must assess 5 domains separately or together. Relatively costly to buy all the materials, and it takes about 6 to 4 hours to get ready to understand all the parts in order to administer. Also, the separate norms for children who have disabilities are not provided, so you are kind of don't understand. So what are those scores do for the kids with disabilities? So what are the reliability and validity for this test? Actually, this test been very well researched because it's already here for more than 20 years. Reliability and validity scores are pretty strong. The coefficient very close to the +1. So the validity data indicates moderate correlation with other established tests. So pretty much it's very reliable and valid test. The second test that I chose, call it Brigance IED, Early Childhood Edition. This test helps to identify strengths and weaknesses of child and can be used for diagnostic as well as classroom assessment, progress monitoring, and program evaluation. It also was designed from kids for birth to 7 years 11 months, has 5 domains, and for example, in language development include receptive and expressive language skill, academic skills, cognitive development, it includes literacy and mathematics skills, adaptive behavior, daily living skills, social and emotional development, interpersonal self-regulatory skills. Motor domain includes gross and motor, fine and motor skills. The strengths of this test, it takes only from 22 to 55 minutes to administer, allows for observation of child's natural behavior in addition to the family and caregiver reports. Routines-based skills in daily living section, social and emotional development section is divided by play skills and behaviors, as well as engagement and initiative includes. Physical domain has illustration that helps define skills for gross motor and fine motor development. Their weaknesses, it's also time consuming, it's very costly, time consuming to get ready to be trained in that, also being costly. The problem with the kids of disability, also the scores are not understanding how to use them, how they help in the future. However, the reliability and validity scores are also very high. The range from 82 to 93, 0.92 to 96, and also the validity suggests that each measure unique aspects of development. The test that I chose is a Stanford Binet Intelligence Scale, was originally developed to help place children in appropriate settings, educational settings. It can help to determine the level of intellectual and cognitive functioning in preschoolers, children, adolescents, and adults, and assist in diagnosis of learning disability, developmental delay, mental retardation, or giftedness. It's used to provide information for educational planning and placement, neuropsychological assessment, and research. The Stanford Binet Intelligence Scale is generally administered in school or in clinical settings. Basically, this is a test that measure cognitive abilities in 5 factors: fluid reasoning, knowledge, quantitative reasoning, visual spatial processing, and working memory. Both verbal and non-verbal responses are measured. Each of 5 factors is given a weight and combined into a score is often reduced to the ratio known commonly as IQ. So this test was also very much research and has a very good and strong reliability and validity scores. So it really are usually those who has high scores are usually gifted, and those who are low scores often face some sort of cognitive disability. To me, in the part of challenge of this test is that since it measured kids from age of 2, how would they measure kids' ability, verbal and non-verbal responses? Why this doesn't include the social environment of a child, right? The difference of classes and cultural backgrounds. So for me, I see a lot of flaws or gray areas still is not worked through. As other two tests.